Getting started with the Cisco ACI. Hello everyone, this is Nat Maywen. Cisco Application Policy Infrastructure Controller, Cisco APIC, is the unifying point of automation and management for Cisco ACI Fabric. A Cisco APIC provides a centralized access to all fabric information. It optimizes the application lifecycle for scale and performance. It supports flexible application provisioning across physical and virtual resources. So let's get started with the basics. The API is the central point to automation. A single data center might include multiple ACI sites. Each data center might have its own APIC cluster, and the Cisco Nexus 9000 series switches that are part of the site. To ensure that a switch is managed only by a single APIC cluster. So each switch must be registered with a specific APIC cluster that manages the ACI site. The APIC automatically discovers the new switches that are directly connected to any switch it currently manages. Each APIC instance in the cluster first discovers only the leaf switches to which it is directly connected. After the leaf switches is registered with the APIC discovers all spine switches that are directly connected to the leaf switches. Each spine switches is registered. The APIC discovers all leaf switches that are connected to the spine switch. This cascaded discover allows the APIC to discover the entire ACI site topology and automatically configure the VXLAN, ISIS, multicast, and more in just a few simple steps. Logging to the APIC, click the Quick Start ACI Fabric Setup. Let's click Fabric Membership Begin. We're going to register my leaf switches at the first Fabric member. It is going to be my 201 node ID. Name is going to be leaf 1. Next, we'll pick a leaf. Click OK. Click my spine 103, spine 103, register this 11, name spine 1, node type spine. Next, 102, spine 2, spine. Alright, then it cascaded, it finds my leaf 2, click register, 202, leaf 2, okay, well, close it. We're seeing status all up, active. The next piece of the puzzle is my BGP, click begin. In here, we're specified my AS number 65000. I will select all the spine 1 and spine 2. Look at the diagram here. In this simple diagram, we have two spine. The ACI site root refactors uses the multi-protocol is MP BGP. Okay, to distribute the external routes from external router to every ACI members. So go to delete. To enable route refactor in an ACI site, the administrator must select the spines that will be the route refactor RR, and provide the AS number. So for redundant purpose, more than one spine is configured as the route refactor. Spine 1, spine 2. One is primary and one is secondary. That's what we're doing right now. and save. Click to configure my NTP. Click UDC, add my NTP server. The time synchronization plays a critical role in ACI, from validating the certs to keeping consistent log files that correspond to the devices. It is important to sync ACI to one or more reliable time sources. Enter the IP, save. Next is my DNS. The DNS server search domain to allow the leaves, spine, and apex to query DNS name. The OOB connection is used for the DNS communication by default. So we'll enter the DNS server domain, decals.cisco.com, check, save. Next piece is my OOB. Click edit here. ACI provides both inbound and outbound management and access options. The OOB outbound management provides the management communication through the configuration of dedicated physical interfaces on the Apex and ACI nodes. Once the ACI site is initialized and discovers, the OOB addresses can be configured for the node. Inbound management provides the management communication through the configuration of one or more front panel, called data panel ports on the leaf nodes. So inbound management requires a dedicated pool of IP addresses, which can be configured for access from outside the ACI site. So we will go ahead to configure OOB. It is 198.163.203. Okay, great, which we already did in here. It's completed. We don't have to specify anymore. It's configured, spine and leaves. Okay. Now we're going to close the get started, quick start, and click on fabric. We'll find this fabric membership. We will see our 4 switches, spine and leaves. Click topology. And it's the diagram we could find: spine, leaf, and apex. Now we shall go ahead to explore the VMware domain and connect the UCS with VMware EXSI server to the ACI. We will connect the VMware infrastructure running on the UCS to our ACI site. So when implementing ACI, we should consider what type of device are these, and what allowed VLAN range, and the switches to which we're going to connect it to, and which interface will this device connected to. And are we using link control policies and port speeds? What kind of port speed? Are we using VPC, or is LSP, CDP, etc.? And when implement the physical connection to ACI, we'll define the domain, VLAN pools, AEP, interface profile, interface policy group, interface policies, and switch policies. Profiles. What we have to do the first is to click the access policies. We'll be creating a VMware domain profile first. So VMware domain profile specify the connection policies and enable the virtual machine like VM vCenter, right? Or Microsoft SCVMM to the Cisco ACI. So now let's log on to my vCenter. Expand the network. Here you can see my vCenter network. We have two items, service network and a VM network. So, and a VDC is not configured. If you previous the VDC in my domain here, then after resetting, we should see the VDC after integration. Now go back to the virtual networking and we'll select this VMware. Under VMware, we're gonna right click and create the vCenter domain. First, virtual switch name. Say VM pool, and we would define is virtual switch name is gonna be called my vCenter. Copy the name, and in the virtual switch, we will pick VMware vSphere Distributed Switch VDS. Here, we're gonna create an AEP attachable entity profile. Create this one. And we're gonna create a name. It's called VMware AEP. Click next. Here, click finish. Go to VLAN pool. We'll create a pool that's called VMM pool. We use dynamic allocation. Click in cap blocks. We'll pick 1000 to 1500. That's it. Click OK. Submit it. Keep scrolling down. Here, vCenter credentials. Add a credential and name. It will say vCenter user. Put in username. Password. Okay. Scroll down to vCenter. We have tell the IP, host name. The name here we would say is dcloud dc IP, my vCenter. In data center, we should say it's the same name, or I will change it to VC1. Associate credentials right here. Click OK. Keep scrolling down. Scrolling down. Here, port channel mode. We want to use MAC pinging plus. When we use MAC ping when connecting UCS blades to enclosures, since the LACP is not supported at a server level, so we pick LLDP. That's it. Submit. Refresh. Here you go. Open my vCenter. Click it. Right here, navigate to vSwitch policies. We could see the port channel policy, LDP policies are in place. Let's expand the controller. VC1, good. Hypervisors. Refresh again. Right away you will find two hosts. Click one. Here you go. Here you go. Expand the DVS. Expand port groups. And click the My vCenter DVU uplinks. Here you go. And here we're going to see the detail in the port groups. For the next step, we'll have to create a VPC interface policy group. Click the fabric. We're going to select access policies. On interfaces, we have to create port group policy groups. So under policy groups, right click the VPC interface. We're going to create the VPC interface policy group. The name is going to be UCS VMware. In the attachable entity profile, we'll pick VMware AEP. We created this before. City policy, we would like to drop down here to make CDP this on enabled. The link level policy, we have few predefined. We want used is 10 gig. Auto. LDP policy predefined for the LDP enabled. Under port channel policy, take the LACP active. Next step, here's my advanced policies. Advanced policies in MCP policy, we want to create miscabling protocol interface policy. The MAC allows us to detect the miscabling configurations, and it is best practice to be enabled. MCP on. Submit. Scroll down here, you'll have STP interface policies. We'll have to create one. Say BPDU guard on. Submit. At the bottom, click finish. And here you go, we will have is a VPC interface IPG interface policy group. Now we will use a wizard to create the required configurations to connect the UCS chassis and the VMware EXSI server side inside. So the UCS fabric interconnect connects to interface 1/1. Click fabric, quick start, right click. We'll have to say configure interfaces. The interface type we want to use is leaf. For interface aggregation type, use the VPC. Let's create a VPC leaf switch pair. Leaf 1, leaf 2, 1. And the face for all switch. Switch 1. Click save. Now let's verify the VPC interfaces. Navigate inventory, expand the ports 1, interface, VPC interface 1, 1. It may not show green because it's a lab simulator. But take a look. We have VPC port Ethernet 1.1. Under my leaf 1 is a VPC interface. Expand leaf 2, VPC interface 1, 1. Here you go. My Ethernet 1/1 is in place. And they're in place on both leaf 1 and leaf 2. So this time we could do is add an EXS host to newly created VDS. Log on to vCenter, click the networking, expand my vCenter, click my vCenter, VDC, want to add and manage a host, add a host, next. We'll add my 2 host, next. In manage the physical adapters, we click the VMNIC 2 and click auto sign here. Next. Sorry, go back and so let's say this switch. Okay, go next, next, number of manager hosts for a site. Okay, finish. Now go to host. Here you go, host added.